Welcome, everybody. Today, we're going to go through updates from the district clerk's office on some legislation changes that are coming in January, as well as some updates from the DCO and things that we're doing for our website. Today, we're going to be discussing legislative updates, including Senate Bill 41, which is the consolidation of civil fees across the state of Texas. That includes JP, county civil, district, and civil actions related to criminal matters. Criminal matters like bond forfeiture, occupational driver's license, bill of review, and those sort of things. It's also going to go over House Bill 569, which increases the jail credit per day. Senate Bill 181, which has different fines for misdemeanor drug offense cases, as well as some updates from the Judicial Committee for Information Technology. That is a state committee assigned by the Supreme Court of Texas to get updates and creates your e-filing rules and your mandates across Texas, as well as some DCO website updates. We'll go dive directly into Senate Bill 41. Senate Bill 41, as I said before, relates to the allocation of civil court costs, increasing certain civil court costs and authorizing fees. And basically what it boils down to is for any civil or family new suit that's filed is going to be $350, 137 of those going to the state, 213 of those dollars going to the county. It raises certain fees as far as copies go, electronic fees being 10 cents per page for a minimum of $1, as well as it sets certain appeal copies, conversions from paper to electronic, and does some other consolidation with several other fees across the state of Texas. But it does make every county in the state of Texas be the same. So if you're filing a lawsuit in Harris County, as well as the same lawsuit in Montgomery County, it's going to cost the same exact thing. There shouldn't be any difference between the counties. So what I put together in this slide is kind of a same sort of picture that's been given to the clerks across the state of Texas. And that is, it has the line in the Senate bill, the page and the line number in the Senate bill that talks about each one of these fees that are going to be charged that makes up that $213. This side, the left-hand side, is the old fees that are being charged today. And then the right side is the new fees that are going to be charged starting January 1st of 2022. So it breaks down each of these fees, the clerk record, our court records management fees, court reporter, courthouse security, as well as this new county jury fund fee of $10. What that is, and I'll talk about it more in a slide coming up, but basically everybody is going to pay for a jury fee, but also in Senate Bill 41, it excludes the $40 that you're additionally paying if you do go to jury. But everybody is going to have to pay this $10 for the jury fund for every case filed. And basically the local consolidated fee for those cases will be $213. The state consolidated fee is $137, and they don't show a breakdown of those, but it does in the bill, totaling up your $350. As far as additional actions in a lawsuit, like your interpleaders, your counterclaims, those sort of actions that you file additionally in lawsuits, those are now going to be $80 standard across the state of Texas. And so this left side, once again, is what you're paying today. And this is the line in the bill and the page number. And then starting January 1st, 2022, this is what you're going to be paying. So it's $35 to the local consolidated fee and $45 for the state consolidated fee, making a total of $80. I also put this slide in here to basically go over some service fees. Some are changing, some stay the same as far as Harris County goes. In other counties, it may be totally different. But some things to point out is the approving of a bond. It increases from $4 to $5 starting January 1st. And then the other biggest change, at least in Harris County, will be these copies. With Senate Bill 41, it basically says if you're giving an electronic to electronic, certified or non-certified, it's going to be 10 cents per page with a minimum of $1. So if it's 10 pages or less, it's going to be $1. If it's 11 pages, it's going to be $1.10. So it's 10 cents for every page after 10. But then if you're wanting certified, one thing that it does change is this certification and seal. The district clerk is now allowed to charge this $5 to certify a document. So an 11-page uncertified document will be $1.10, but an 11-page certified document is going to be $6.10 because we'll be charging this $5 for the certification and seal. The other changes are pretty much the same that you've paid in the past, but those are the biggest changes in your optional service fees. So I wanted to break this down to make it a little bit simpler for you. Your civil and family cases, new suits, that's even your civil related to criminal matters, are all going to be $350. Any SAPSR new suits affecting parent-child relationship, are going to be $365. That additional $15 is your DRO fee, your domestic relations fee. Your non-SAPSR civil family actions, your interpleaders and so forth, are going to be $80. Any family law actions, which there's some today, they're going to stay the same, being $15. And then your family SAPSR post actions, your interpleaders, motions and some other motion for enforcements and those sort of things are going to be $30. And then of course, like I was saying, the copy fees, they're going to be for if you go to our counter and our clerks have to print the paper and give you the copies, it's going to be $1 per page. That's including service copies. So if you're today, I believe in Harris County, you get 25 cents per page on a service copy. If we're printing that paper and giving it to you, it's going to be $1 per page. For electronic copies, like I was saying, 10 pages or less is going to be $1 each. Of course, if it's exactly 10 pages at 10 cents a page, it's still $1. And then of course, every page up from there, 11 through however long the document is going to be 10 cents per page. And that's electronic to electronic. So if you order over our website and you get a certified copy over the website, it will be basically this $10 per page with a minimum of $1. But if you get it certified, we will be adding on that $5 for the certification and seal. And then if you need a copy of an older case, as you know, in Harris County, we have millions and millions of images already available electronically. But if we have to go pull that paper from our warehouse and convert it and scan it in and make it electronic, those will be $1 per page as well. So that's kind of at a nutshell, a high level breakdown of all of these changes with Senate Bill 41. Next, the jury fee. Like I was saying, in Senate Bill 41, it takes away that $40 that you're paying today if you want to request that jury. Now, basically, it's saying effective January 1st, those fees have been repealed and we no longer can charge them. But what has happened is that because if you have a case that you have filed this year and you go to jury trial next year, well, per Rule of Civil Procedure, Rule 216, requires that a jury fee, when you make that request for that jury fee, is a $10 fee, and it is standalone and not repealed from Senate Bill 41. So for those cases filed before 2022 that are not subject to the local consolidation fee that you're paying on every case, the district clerk must collect a $10 fee within a reasonable time before the trial date. So when you're requesting a jury for a case that you filed this year or last year, and you go to trial next year, or even in 23, then you will pay a $10 jury fee that will be out there in their optional services. If you're going to trial on a case that you filed after January 1, 2022, you don't have to pay that fee because you've already paid it in the local consolidation fee when you filed the case. So keep that in mind as far as jury fees go. Next, another wrench that the state threw at us with this Senate bill. Currently today, when you e-file and you pay for that lawsuit, you're paying through the portal, through your EFSP or the state website. That money is collected by the state, and then it then sends it to the 254 counties across the state of Texas, all the fees that were collected for your filing, and gives that to the county. The county will then turn around and give that whatever money that goes to the state comptroller. Well, in the future, starting January 1st, 2022, they say the state's going to collect all those fees, and they're going to send money to the local government for just the local consolidated costs. And for the state consolidated costs, it's going to go directly to the comptroller. So we as Harris County will only see the fees when it comes down to, in our integration, and it comes down to our website. We're only going to see the $35 that you paid for subsequent action, or the $213 that you paid for a new suit. We're not going to see that full $350 or that full $80, because the state's already going to get their $137 or their $45 automatically sent to them. So that's a lot different than it was before in the past. And that's what they're doing to us starting January 1st. So how would you see that on our website? So on our website, under the court cost tab, when you pull up a case and you go under the court cost tab, we're going to have to add this state fee amount right down here for any and all state fee amounts that go directly to the state that's been e-filed. We're going to show that on our website right there. You're just going to have to add the payment amount and the state fee amount to know the total amount that you paid for that filing. Now, it also throws a wrench into post-judgment matters. And when you get a cost bill from post-judgment, we're basically having to add in additional programming to where if you paid that state fee amount, it's going to add a line item detail in that cost bill so that you don't have to worry about what you paid locally and what we paid state. We're going to include it all in the cost bill. But as far as individual transactions and what you see on the website, this is the only place that you're going to be able to see where state money went to. So how does refunds work? What happens if you file something and you need a refund? Well, if you e-filed it through eFile Texas, the state is telling us, OCA is telling us that they will be remitting the refund from the comptroller. So the clerks are going to have to handle any refunds of local fees, but the state will handle refunds for the state fees. So we've asked, how will that work? And they say they are working on instructions, and we're waiting on those instructions from the state so that we can then tell y'all how that works. Right now, we don't know. So as soon as we get those, we'll be sure to communicate that to you. Of course, if it's filed and collected through the clerk, like a pro se filing, that pro se is going to come to the window. We're going to collect both the local and state fees, and then we'll remit those state fees at the end of the month, just like we do today. So 2 different ways going on that we're going to have to keep up with. I threw in here a slide on a couple of case types that have changed a lot that I wanted to make sure that you're aware of. This screenshot here is straight out of the OCA, filings and fees for 2022 that are up on the OCA's website for the state of Texas. Fraudulent lien cases, they're per this Senate Bill 41 is going to be changed from $15 to $350. So I wanted to make you aware of that. A lot of fees and a lot of legislation has been repealed by Senate Bill 41. This being one of them has changed a lot. So I wanted to make sure you're aware of it. And then also the second one is the protective order application. Protective order application used to be either nothing or $16, I think it was. But now it's going to be $350. Make sure that you're aware that the applicant of that protective order does not have to pay this. So if you are the applicant and you're the person filing this protective order application, please make sure that you set up a waiver account at any EFSP or any e-file taxes in your payment accounts. Not only should you have your credit card, but you also should set up, it's absolutely free to set up a waiver account. And if you file anything under that waiver account, then our clerks are going to make sure that the fees can be waived. Like if you have an indigency on file, or if it's this protective order application, and if the fees can be waived up front, then you can absolutely file this free of charge. That $350 will become due money. And basically, if that case is issued and does have a judgment against the respondent, then the respondent pays these fees, not the applicant. So make sure you set up that waiver account so you don't have to pay these fees up front, because if it is, the judgment is rendered against a respondent, then the respondent pays the $350. All right, the next is, there is some new case types that come up with Senate Bill 41, one being the qualified domestic relations order petition. Before, that wasn't even technically a case type or being charged for. Now it is, and it is $350. So the only way we can see to file this, because a lot of the technology standards have changed for Senate Bill 41, but it didn't account for a lot of the new case types. So until we can get that changed, if you're filing one of these lawsuits, make sure you file it under family other case type until we can get that added to the technology standards. So keep that in mind. And so other case types. So there's other case types that technically aren't in the technology standards that you may have to pay something different or may not. Just keep in mind as a high level, if it's a civil case, then choose civil, other civil case category, and then choose other civil as the case type. That way you get the correct $350 charge. If it is a family non-SAPSR case, then you would choose a case category of family, other family law, and then choose other case type. So you can get the same $350, but it will be in the right family category. And then if it's a case type that is a SAPSR, it's a suit affecting parent-child relationship, then make sure you choose that case category of family, parent, other parent-child relationship. and then the case type, other parent child, so you can get the proper $365 charge. We don't want you potentially picking the family other, getting charged $350. We see it's wrong. We changed it to $365, and then this gets voided out and the $365 gets charged again on your credit card. So make sure you find the right other case type so that you're charged properly until we can get what we need added to the technology standards. Next is the civil actions related to criminal matters. Like I was telling you before, if you're filing a non-disclosure, a petition for an occupational driver's license, if you're amending the filing for an occupational driver's license, or if you get a bond forfeiture judgment, these fees have changed as well. And I kind of summed that up here on what the new changes are. It's either going to be the $350 or the $80. And that's a lot different than what it is today in criminal, but I want to make sure that you are aware that this Senate bill does change those as well. Okay, next is Rule 21 F5A. In that document, that's your criminal e-filing rules and rules of civil procedure, Rule 21. It says if a document is transmitted on a Saturday, Sunday, or legal holiday, it is deemed filed on the next day that is not a Saturday, Sunday, or legal holiday. And basically what that's saying is if you file, December 31st is a Harris County holiday. So if you wait till the last day to file your case, which is December the 31st, technically you've already reached the new filing fees, because December the 31st is a holiday, January 1st and 2nd are in the weekend. Anything filed after midnight on the 30th, which is the 31st, early mornings of the 31st through January 2nd will be deemed filed on January the 3rd. So be sure to keep that in mind because anything filed on December the 31st or after will be subject to all the new fees on Senate Bill 41. We don't know what's going to happen at the state level when e-filing is going to get everything converted to us. We've told them that the 31st is a Harris County holiday, so they're supposed to be changing all of our fees on the 31st. But you might end up in this scenario where you got charged the $287 because that's what you paid, but by the time when we accept it on the 3rd, it's probably going to void that $287 and charge the $350. So just keep that in mind as you're filing. And we're at the mercy at the state level and Tyler to get all of our configuration correct and in place by the 31st. But we're not sure exactly when they're going to do everything that weekend. So keep that in mind and bear with us. So that kind of is in a nutshell everything on Senate Bill 41. It was huge. We are going to talk about questions at the very end and where you can email your questions. But the next is House Bill 569, which amends the Criminal Code of Procedure to allow a jail credit to be $150 for each day of confinement. Keep that in mind starting January the 1st. Senate Bill 181. For this bill, it's saying in certain drug offense cases, if you're convicted of that drug offense case and your driver's license is not suspended, then there is a fine added to your criminal cost bill of $100. If your driver's license is suspended, then that fine is not there, but if it's not, it will be added to the cost bill. JCIT updates. So like I said before, JCIT stands for Judicial Committee for Information Technology. They have changed up and approved at the JCIT committee technology standard 7.0. I did go out and look at the website last week, and it looks like the Supreme Court approved those on December the 7th. And this is a link to the Supreme Court site and their publication of the technology standard 7.0. We're also going to have, we also have that already updated on our website. If you click on the e-filing icon on the homepage, it'll take you to a page where there's a link to these technology standards 7.0 if you want to look at those. Those are already out on our website. And some changes to Senate Bill 41 are included in that technology standards. One big change is declare marriage void. There used to be one case type for that, but now they've created two case types because of the different charge. If you have a DRO, the 350 and the 365. So now they have a declare marriage void with children and one without children. And then, of course, the optional services changes for copies fees are in there as well. Also, one major component that was added to those technology standards is the return for correction timeline. The clerks really didn't have a standard, and across the state of Texas, each clerk was doing something different. So they've put in a standard time frame for the clerks to allow for corrections. And basically what it says is the filer will have the ability to copy the original filing, make corrections, and resubmit that filing with the original file date for the period not to exceed 72 hours. So from the time of filing is returned for correction. So they're giving you a standard of 72 hours to get that filing back to the clerk in order to get your original file date. So keep that in mind as well. Okay. There's also some subcommittees at the JCIT level, one being the Orders Subcommittee and Cybersecurity Subcommittee. I'm a part of both of those subcommittees. And currently we're meeting to discuss how we're going to get orders signed by the judge submitted up to Research Texas. They're trying to come up with a way that works for all 254 counties. It's a big undertaking to try to figure that out, but we're working on that, as well as a possible solution for the issues with the automated certificate of service. As you know, today, if you e-file a proposed order and you ask that to be e-served to the other parties, it adds an additional page for this automated certificate of service, telling, basically saying, this is everybody that you e-served. Judges don't like that because of the fact that that proposed order gets put up as an order that they're going to sign. Once they sign that order, it looks like it's already been served when it has not. So make sure if you're only filing a proposed order and it's not an attachment, to go ahead and file a cover letter and file that as your lead document and file the proposed order as an attachment, because this automated certificate of service only is attached to the lead document. So if you make a cover letter as the lead document and you attach the proposed order, then these automated certificate of service issues will go away. So keep that in mind as well. Also, I wanted to make sure you're aware that there is a new e-filing contract, which began in 2022, which will begin in 2022. It includes different things like self-service administrative tools, improving the filing experience for users with more upfront document checks, which it's very painful today when we see a filing. You submit it, you get it accepted. Our clerks look at it, they say, yep, everything looks good. We hit accept, and then it ends up in an error queue because Tyler can't file stamp that document. There's something wrong with it where they can't file stamp it. Then it ends up in one of our error queues, and then we have to return for correction because we can't do anything with it because it won't get through the Tyler's e-filing portal to get integrated and sent to us. So that's very frustrating. It has been frustrating for many years since it was deployed in 2013. Supposedly they're going to do a lot of those upfront document checks so that if there is a problem with the document, it won't go through. They'll tell you that up front instead of you going through, getting it submitted, a clerk looking at it and accepting it just to get it returned for correction. So hopefully they'll be able to do a lot of those upfront document checks and reduce those number of filings returned for correction. It also is going to have the ability to upload and transmit additional file formats. I'm not sure what all formats those are. We're still waiting for them to tell us what those are, but the new contract will have those, as well as various updates for the clerks and the courts. And in the committee, they give a little update on that 2.0 contract. And I added this slide so you can kind of tell in the different cycles where they are. But I know this 2.0 contract is probably going to go through year 2023. Okay. Next is our website updates. So we have some exciting news to tell you that our website is being rolled out in January to a more responsive design. This means our website adjusts accordingly based on the device that you're using. So if you're using a mobile phone, it'll adjust to the mobile phone, know that you're using a mobile phone, and you'll have a different look and feel. If you're using a PC, you probably won't see much of a difference. But if you're using an iPad or a mobile phone, you will see some differences. So the high level change is a responsive design to the device, aesthetic appearance, and some minor menu changes that we're going to go over. So if you're on a mobile device, this is how it's going to look. It's going to change the look and feel because you don't have that wide device like a computer screen. The menus are going to be in what we call this hamburger. I call it a hamburger, but it's a hamburger menu because it looks like a top of a bun, a meat, and a bottom of a bun. But that menu icon is at the top. When you press that, it will then drill down a set of menus. The login is going to stay up top. You're also going to be able to click on the seal at any point in time, anywhere on the website, and go back to the home page. And then as you scroll down your page with your device with your finger or whatever, there's red icon is going to appear in the lower right-hand corner. If you click on the red icon, it will always take you to the top of the page. And then, of course, remember your attorney homepage icon. This will be a quick access to the attorney kiosk. If you haven't looked at the attorney kiosk, I highly suggest you go out and do that, because that attorney kiosk will give you all of your cases, be able to see your settings and any other information you need to see on your cases. And you can also then see other settings inside that court as well. A lot of good features in that homepage. The next kind of different look and feel for the website is the, as you go into each page, this is the family intake page. It'll give you a little menu at the very top. These are mostly just shortcuts to that section on the page so that you don't have to scroll to that section. You can just click on this link and it'll take you directly to the income transfers section of that page. Next, like I was saying, when you click on this hamburger menu, it'll bring down the menu. And one thing that we wanted to show was the quick links. There used to be on the left-hand side of the page, quick links for you to go to different places. Now it's up in the menu, and each of the menu items on any of these menu choices will all be in alphabetical order, so that you can find what you're looking for a lot easier. As well as I wanted to point out the language empowered by Google Translator. If you choose Spanish as a language, you'll see the whole site change to Spanish for any of you Spanish speaking users, as well as other languages that are in that drop down for you to use. Also, another announcement that we have is in January, we're going to be adding juvenile cases, juvenile delinquency cases to the attorney kiosk for those attorneys representing juvenile delinquent cases. If you're not representing that juvenile, it will not show. But if you are representing that juvenile delinquent, right now you have to go to the court to look at documents. You will be able to do that from your attorney kiosk in January. And then, of course, future projects that we're working on. There's another big bill like Senate Bill 41. It's called Senate Bill 6 on the criminal side. We're going to be dealing with that for most of next year. A lot of those changes have to do with a lot of OCA reporting and OCA forms that we're waiting on at the state level. Once we get more of that information, we'll be working on those changes. So that will be coming up next year, as well as we're working on enhancing our e-hearing feature on the website that allows you to do a lot of scheduling of hearings electronically. We're going to continue to make enhancements per judge's request on that. And that's it. That's our presentation. Hope you take this information. It's helpful to you. This presentation, the PDF of this presentation is on our e-filings page. You click on that, you'll see your technology standards 7.0 link, as well as this PowerPoint presentation. If you have questions, email our e-filing at hcdistrictclerk.com. And hopefully we have many people monitoring that mailbox, and we should be able to get you an answer. So once again, that's e-filing at hcdistrictclerk.com. Thank you very much, and we hope you find this very helpful.